This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather, ho there, Chef Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy! And the birthday boy for today, March the 5th, is a former NHL defenseman who was a first overall pick. Rarely do you see a defenseman go first overall. However, this guy is noted for having a weird eye injury in 2000, which curtailed his career. But he came back from it despite having vision problems and all that. He played for seven teams, well, six in the NHL, one overseas. But he was a very decent defenseman. His name is Brian Berard, who's now 47 years old. Brian Berard was born in Woonsocket, Rhode Island on March the 5th. He would play for an academy team in Rhode Island and had offers to go to U.S. college hockey, especially the powerhouses of Boston College, Maine, and Michigan at the time, of course, in the 90s, but decided to go to the OHL. And the Detroit Junior Red Wings, when Detroit had an OHL team, drafted him. And he helped Detroit win the OHL championship in 95, but not the Memorial Cup. He was the league's Rookie of the Year. Because of his age, he was eligible to be drafted in the 95 NHL draft. And Ottawa, in their perpetual losing ways, always seemed to have the number one pick, but they got it this time. And they decided to give Berard a shot and made him the number one pick. Berard thought he was going to go straight to the NHL because, he was the first overall pick and the Senators' blue line kind of sucked. But he was returned to Detroit in junior hockey. He was not happy about it and decided to request a trade. So the Senators obliged, sending him to the New York Islanders. In a move that was huge because that brought Wade Redden from the Islanders franchise to Ottawa. It was actually a three-team trade with the Leafs, as the Leafs picked up Don Beaupre from Waterloo, close to where I live, and dumped off Damian Rhodes to the Senators. Martin Straka even went to the other from Ottawa. People forget Martin Straka was a Senator. So yeah, Wade Redden ended up being a Leaf. Being a Senator, and that kind of was huge. How the Islanders got rid of Wade Redden. Doesn't matter. Anyway, Berard would join the Islanders for the 96-97 season and made an impact. 48 points in his rookie season. And led all defensemen in scoring on his team. He ended up winning the Calder Trophy over Jarome Iginla. That's hard to believe, but yeah, Berard is a Calder Trophy winner. He would play for the U.S. in the 98 Winter Olympics, taking sixth place. The team didn't think that Berard could play good defense, so they decided to dump him off to the Leafs to get Felix Potvin, who the Leafs were trying to dump off as well, because with Curtis Joseph playing his heart out in net, after the Leafs picked him up free agency, they needed to get rid of Potvin. Berard put up 19 points in 38 games with the Leafs that year and played 17 playoff games as the Leafs were in the semifinals of the Stanley Cup, losing to Buffalo. In his second season, he had 30 points in 64 games, and it looked pretty good for the Leafs. Unfortunately, in a nationally televised game in Ottawa on a Saturday night, March 11th, 2000, don't talk to Montreal Canadian fans about why March 11th is dismal, because, you'll get lots of answers. Anyway, Murray Hosa's stick clipped Berard on the follow-through and hit him in the right eye, and it was slashed on the sclera, which had a retinal tear and a detached retina. In the hospital, after being told he could lose his eye, Berard said he was going to still play hockey and all that. Despite the optimism, it was a career-ending injury, seemingly, and he had a $6.5 million settlement from his insurance company. Berard went through 7 eye operations on that right eye, improving his vision to 2600, which means that, well, in eyesight, 20/20 is when you have perfect vision, that you can see you could see things from 20 meters away, 20 feet away, and it looked pretty good. But Berard's vision is such that whatever he looks at 20 meters away, people can spot at 600 meters away. He started working out in 2001 and started skiing again. Berard was given a contact lens that could help him meet the league's minimum vision requirement of 2400 over 400. He was a free agent. The Leafs stated they were interested, but Berard wanted to play for a team that was rebuilding and close to Woonsocket. He had signed a tryout contract with the Rangers, and he returned his insurance settlement and risked a comeback to the NHL. Now, that's a guy who wants to play for the love of hockey and not for the money. He played well enough that his tryout contract turned out to be a $2 million deal for the 2002 season. Has a couple of one-year options. He had a disappointing season. He played all 82 games for the Rangers, but he had a disappointing season in a sense by offense. Then Boston signed him to a one-year deal. And somehow, in some way, he was back to pre-injury form, putting up 10 goals in that game, a season. An arbitrator said that Berard will be given a $2.5 million contract for the next season. Boston balked. He was a free agent. Chicago signed him to a one-year deal, giving him $2 million. And he looked pretty good. He was given the Bill Masterton Trophy, which is given to the NHL player who's gone through perseverance for the sport of hockey. Notably, Saku Koivu won it in 2002 after coming back from cancer, and Phil Kessel won it after going through testicular cancer treatments. His career was on the upswing. He was going to be given a one-year, $3 million contract for the 2005 season. As you could probably guess by an NHL fan, the 2005 season did not exist because of the lockout. And with a new GM in town, he didn't get the deal. But Columbus gave him a 2-year deal, stating that he could do it and all that. He would have back problems and all that in his time with Columbus. He would attend training camp with the 2008 with the Islanders and was given a one-year contract. He scored 5 goals and 22 points, but he was back in an Islanders uniform. And then he was offered a training camp contract with the Flyers before the 08-09 season. No contracts. So he went to Chekhov of the KHL. And because of his back problems, he decided to retire from hockey. But it's important to notice that, in 2000 he had that eye injury, and then for 9 years he was playing hockey still. He was the first NHL player ever test positive for steroids in 2006. He was banned from international play, but not the NHL, because the NHL did not administer that test. Regardless of that, he won the Calder in 1997 for Rookie of the Year and Masterton for Perseverance in 2004. So in his NHL career, 619 games, he put up 323 points, including 76 goals, and put up 10 points in 20 career playoff games, only being to the playoffs twice, with the Leafs in 1999 and the Bruins in 2003. So he looked like a very good player and all that. Imagine what Brian Berard would have been like for the Leafs if he was healthy, if that eye injury didn't happen. Maybe he'd be just as good as McCabe. But, it was good while it lasted. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.